Thanks for coming. I'm here to provide an update today in relation to Operation Eclipse. Since the 26th of November, Operation Eclipse has now searched another 25 premises in relation to illicit tobacco. The searches have been for two reasons. Firstly, to support consumer and business services who are responsible for the regulation of tobacco in South Australia. And then the second reason was to investigate in some instances criminal offending, including arson and money laundering. Particularly on 11th December, so Wednesday of this week, over 80 police from Serious Organised Crime Branch, Major Crime Investigation Branch, Financial and Cybercrime Investigation Branch and Public Protection Branch, with detectives from Western Districts, Southern District, Eastern Districts and Northern Districts, searched 15 retail outlets, 2 of which were licensed. Those searches occurred on tobacconists, candy and gift shops and small supermarkets, and were done in conjunction with, at some of those premises, consumer and business services. Illicit tobacco was located at each of the retail outlets, including the 2 licensed retailers, and a total value of tobacco was seized in excess of $1 million. We also seized 8,000 cash at one premises. Included within those seizures was the largest seizure of illicit tobacco from a retail outlet in South Australia at Welland, where we seized $450,000 worth of tobacco, and adjoining that premises was a storage shed or a facility that was storing illicit tobacco for distribution of that tobacco to other retail outlets. At one of the businesses, whilst we were there, a courier arrived. That courier delivered 15 large boxes of tobacco that was valued at $150,000. Inquiries are continuing into where that tobacco has originated from, and the investigations into that will continue. The searches on those days have significantly advanced our, significantly enhanced our knowledge of the operating models of the syndicates that are currently working in South Australia. During which those searches, we also seized a ILO van which contained a large amount of tobacco, and as I said, we really believe that it's enhanced our operational knowledge of how they're operating. We're currently at a storage facility or a logistics facility where we've seized a further 11 large boxes of tobacco, and that's occurring as we speak. We've now conducted a full review of the 20 arsons that have occurred in South Australia, and investigations into them are continuing. I can say that on the 29th of November this year, a 41-year-old man from Gawler was arrested in relation to an arson that occurred at Pennington at the Addison Gift House on the 15th of October at 4:30 a.m. That premises has been extensively damaged, and that's the second arrest conducted by Western District CIB, with a 24-year-old female previously being arrested for that arson. I'm now confident that we will also have further arrests for arsons as a result of that review, and they will occur in the weeks coming. We're continuing to receive excellent community support in relation to the illicit tobacco market, and which is assisting us in suppressing the violence around it. We've now had 167 calls to Crime Stoppers. SAPO will continue to work with our partner agencies and have a whole of organisation response to target these syndicates. We'll continue to disrupt them through targeting their financial operations and their criminal activity, and where possible and where we have evidence that exists, we will pursue criminal charges. That will include those that are supporting and enabling those that are involved in the illicit market and involved in violence, and also where possible we'll use the full force of the Confiscations Act. We're seeking knowledge from the public in relation to anyone that may have knowledge of persons involved in the illicit tobacco market, information where tobacco is being stored, and as we've previously asked, I ask any of the logistics operators or courier companies that if they have knowledge of where they're delivering tobacco to or where they're collecting tobacco from, I ask them to call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. I'll now take any questions.
Just on that, the courier companies, they might not necessarily know that's illegal or illicit tobacco, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. But it may be, as I said, we're dropping, we've searched small supermarkets, candy and gift stores, and tobacconists. So if it was going to tobacconists, it would allow them to actually possibly have knowledge that they are delivering illicit tobacco products.
I understand one of the 15 raids was at Paraka on Wednesday. Can you just talk us through that role a little bit further?
Yeah, so there was one premises that was searched at Paraka, and an amount of illicit tobacco was seized at that location.
Was anyone arrested at that location?
No, there were no arrests this week.
As far as the courier that was dropping the products off, you're saying that investigation is ongoing. Can you share any details about that? Do you know where they come from, a different state?
So the courier that delivered that consignment wouldn't have had knowledge that it was tobacco in the way that it was packaged. Wouldn't have had knowledge. We are now investigating where those consignments have come from, and we'll be seeking assistance from the courier company that was involved in that.
Just on Paraka again, just how much was seized there?
Yeah, I don't have that with me, but I'll be able to provide that at completion for you.
And so what is the total number of arrests now as far as Operation Eclipse?
So we've now had 22 arrests.
You've made good progress. How confident are you that you're really closing in on people that are dealing in this sort of syndicate?
Yeah, listen, to date the progress has been excellent. There's no doubt that the activity conducted by South Australian Police and Consumer and Business Services and other agencies is certainly suppressing the activity and the violence in South Australia. But we're fully aware that we need to maintain pressure because we don't want to see those offences that were occurring, so that we can ensure the safety of the community.
Can you give us a suburb or an area where the raid is happening now?
No, I won't be providing that.
Can we find that out eventually?
Maybe.
What's led police to that location?
As with any of these seizures that we get, we're working closely with our partner agencies and other persons involved in those logistics companies, and it's our inquiries that have led to that today.
Are you finding that as you essentially double down on these syndicates and these people that are involved, are they finding other means to still trade?
Yeah, it's clearly evident to us that the activity that we've used to suppress the violence and the illicit trade of tobacco today, we have seen the way that they are changing the way that they are trying to get tobacco in South Australia and supply these shops. And even this week we've seen at one of the locations there are different concealment methods that the packages of the tobacco is coming in, and we are seeing it being repackaged to get into South Australia so that companies aren't aware as to what is occurring.
You touched on it briefly. What's your message to South Australians who might see some suspicious activity?
Yeah, as stated, South Australian Police are extremely committed to ensuring that we suppress the violence that's occurred within the illicit tobacco trade. And I ask that anyone that has knowledge of those storage locations or where this illicit tobacco trade is occurring to contact South Australian Police and call Crime Stoppers.
Just to check, so the 15 stores, are they all within that one Welland?
No, they're across the metropolitan area. So, yeah.
Okay, final questions?
And just the fact that you've had that largest seizure, I guess, what do you make of that? They're obviously still trying to push the limits here.
Yeah, it's clearly evident there's large profits that can be made in the illicit tobacco trade, and we are aware that the activity by us and our partner agencies will suppress that activity, but we are also aware that these syndicates that are operating in South Australia will continue to change their operating model, but the searches that occurred on Wednesday have certainly enhanced our knowledge as to how they are making some of those changes.
And as far as storage facilities, how many raids on storage facilities have there been now?
So we've now had, from memory, 5. So we've searched 60 business premises, of which 5 of those are storage facilities and/or what we would say about supply houses.
Just on the Paraka raid again, how large was that in comparison to the Welland one, which you obviously say is the largest seizure?
Yeah. So at all of those tobacco shops we did seize tobacco. We had 2 significant seizures. The first one was at Welland, and the second one was where the courier driver delivered 150,000, and then we found varying amounts at the different retail outlets across the state.
Okay, thanks guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.